right, folks. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. As you're joining us, before we get started, if you'd like to help us out, share this video, help us get the word out. Let's build our audience so that we can reach the community with this great, empowering message of how to engage and be a part of local politics. Thank you all for joining us. We have our city clerk, Stacy Staltzburg, with us. Stacy, good morning. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's been good this morning.
Stacy and I have been talking about this video for a long time, and here we are finally doing it. So Stacy, cheers to us, and thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us for this important conversation with the public about how to get involved and be heard locally, and also be more in the know in regards to what it is that we are doing at the city. Before we get started, though, I'd love for us to talk a little bit about what it means to be a city clerk and your background with the city. So maybe just take a minute to talk about how you got involved with the city, and then how you got into the position of city clerk, and what the position actually entails.
Sure. Again, thanks for having me. I'm really happy to be here. So my name is Stacy Staltzburg. I am the city clerk for the city of Flagstaff. I did start with the city back in 2007. I actually started in our public works department. And so I've been here for about 14 years and have kind of moved my way through the organization to get me to where I am today. I am a master municipal clerk, which is a professional designation that, shows that I've been able to gain the experience and the knowledge to do the job that I'm in. So you ask a really interesting question about how I got into the world of the city clerk. I've said it a few times, but those of us don't necessarily wake up in the morning when we're 5 years old and say, I want to be a city clerk when I grow up. It's definitely not something that you start young with. It's usually something that you become aware of as you enter into the world of public service. And that's really what happened with me. Is I became very intrigued with the city clerk's office because I felt like they were really involved in just the day-to-day operations of the city. I was really intrigued by the election process. So that's one of the things that the city clerk is responsible for, is conducting city elections. But really what initially drew me to this position was the amount of history that this job is required to maintain. I remember having a tour of our vault that we keep that has all of our historical records, and being able to see some documents that date, back to the mid 1800s was just fascinating. And so I really felt a draw to try to continue to preserve our history, to continue to tell our story, and to continue to really insert myself into the process that is really responsible for keeping our government open, accessible, and transparent. But generally speaking, the city clerk wears a number of hats. My job, frankly, changes day to day. We never quite know what we're going to come up against, which also, right. But it keeps it very interesting for me. But generally speaking, we preserve the records of the city. We prepare all of the council meeting materials. We oversee council meetings. We conduct the local elections, and we oversee the board and commission process, just to name a few.
Right. Oh, that's great. And now you've been our city clerk, I believe you said, for 3 years?
3 years, yes. And prior to that, I was the deputy city clerk for 6 years. So I've been in this profession for almost 10 years. It's hard to believe.
Wow, that's great. Thank you for that background, and that's wonderful. It's a very amazing and funny story as to how you got into this, and I think we all have interesting stories, and so thank you for sharing yours. So folks, we're going to dive into how to engage and things you need to know to be heard locally. So a couple of the low-hanging fruit items, written comments. If you hear something is coming up on a future agenda or this upcoming Tuesday, there's ways to speak up, and you really have a handful of ways to engage and be part of the record that Stacy spoke to, right, Stacy? So one of which is written comment and one of which is public comment. Can you break down the two?
Sure. So written comments are for folks that maybe can't attend a council meeting, or they're just not comfortable speaking in front of an audience. So we provide an opportunity for them to, share their thoughts on matters in a written way. So if you were to attend a council meeting physically, we have blue comment cards that are on our back table that you can write out your comments, and those get circulated to the council members during the meeting. We also, kind of as a result of COVID and our having to kind of change the way we conducted our meetings during that time, we have opened up the opportunity to accept written comments for the official record through email as well. We have a public comment email that is very originally named public comment at flagstaffaz.gov. But you can also send your written comments to that email, and those comments get incorporated into the official record of the city. So those minutes that are generated for that meeting. So those are written comments. We also offer the opportunity to provide verbal comments. Again, if you attend the council meeting physically, you can fill out a yellow card. You submit that to the clerk on duty, and then you would be called to speak your comments there at the council meeting. Again, with changes in our protocol as a result of COVID, we now have a very exciting virtual public comment type of a platform that we can use. We provide a link on our agendas that allow you to enter into a public comment virtual meeting room. And as your item that you might want to speak on comes up for discussion, you interact with our moderator that is there, and we, let you know when it's your time to speak. You have an ability to turn a camera on if you want to, be seen, as well as, when you offer your comments. And then, so you can give those comments virtually also. And we thought that this would give a really good opportunity for people that may not be able to come and sit at a council meeting, or maybe aren't comfortable yet being in a public setting. It's a really great opportunity for them to offer comments and engage with council if they want.
Absolutely. And with the public comment component, you have 3 minutes to speak. So you'll be cut off after 3 minutes, but it's a great way to speak to the council and to the mayor and to the community and let us know what your comments and thoughts are. Now, if you want to give a public comment on a specific agenda item, your comment will be taken at that time with that agenda item, but you're also welcome to give a public comment or a written comment on anything you'd like to share that might not be on the agenda that night. And that's at the very beginning, and I believe also at the very end of the meetings. It's typically at the beginning. It's not always at the end, right?
Correct. We at the beginning of every meeting, we do have a public comment or a public participation option. And then at the end of our work sessions, we do have another public comment period after the meeting. But generally speaking, it's that very beginning part of the agenda.
And to folks who are going to see this video, I can't stress enough the importance of your voice in our discussions. As a council member, I can tell you firsthand that I've witnessed the influence of one public commenter on our decisions time and time again, both as a member of the public and on the council as a council member. I can tell you that your voice does matter, and we do listen, and we do take your opinions and concerns into consideration to the best of our abilities. And often you'll see that your comment will sway the decisions made by your electeds, your council. And so please do engage with us. And it does help us make an informed quality decision. And too often our voice is left out of the conversation. So if you're someone who feels like your voice doesn't matter, that's that much more the reason why to speak up. And so just wanted to share that with all of you. And so going with that public comment component, that conversation that we're having, Stacy. So if someone does want to call into a council meeting and submit a virtual comment, can we walk them through that process? I know you just did, but maybe we can tie this into the next discussion around the agendas. I think at the top of the agendas, there's instructions. You want to do a little screen share?
Absolutely. So let's do this. All right, so you should be seeing our main homepage for the city's website. And so I'm going to take you to kind of walk you through real quick how to access information for our council meetings. So under our government tab, we have a note here for city council meeting information. And this page is really a great central location to find anything that you might need for city council meetings. So we've got lots of instructions on here, and then we have a number of links. So the first link I'm going to show you here is you can access our live streaming. So every single council meeting is live streamed on our website. So you're able to watch from wherever you are. You can watch from a mobile device or a PC. We have some instructions on our public comment protocol, which we've been talking about. And then we also provide a link here to access our public comment waiting room. So this same link you're going to find on all of our city council agendas, but we try to provide just another opportunity and another location for you to access that. We also have a link to our public comment email that I talked about a little earlier. So I want to take you really quick to where we can access or where you can access city council agendas. So here under documents, there is a link that talks about our council meeting agendas. If you click that, it will take you to all of our posted agendas. So this includes some of our boards and commissions, but also our city council meetings. So just as way of example, let's take a look at our work session for tomorrow, which is the 14th. You click that link, and this is our online agenda. We have our instructions here on how to offer a public comment. We have a link to our streaming, again, just a way for you to access the live stream. And then we have a link here that will take you to our virtual public comment waiting room. And in this waiting room, we have a live moderator who will work with you to coordinate when, what items you want to speak on, when it's your turn to speak, and the fact that you can, we'll prompt you as to when you can turn your microphones on and your cameras. So that's how you access our city council agendas. We also just include links to all of the information that council's been provided that help in their discussions and decision makings for those matters.
Stacy, go ahead and open up one of the agenda items to just show them.
So this is our.
Go ahead.
This is our regional plan update that we're going to be hearing. So it gives you all of the information that's contained in what we call a staff summary. Again, it gives kind of a snapshot of what we're going to be talking about. And then it also has links to, for this is, the PowerPoint presentation that staff's going to be providing to the council. So it's a great way for you to be able to access all of the specific information and kind of follow along with the discussion that council's having.
And if there's any staff recommendation in terms of desired outcome, it'll be listed there. Often there's clear verbiage about what it is that we're looking to accomplish in that discussion and potentially action items or possible resolutions that we're looking to pass on that agenda item. So it really breaks down all the information you need. It's a little intimidating as a member of the public, but I highly recommend you get familiar with the format so that you can better be empowered with what it is that we as a city are facing and dealing with. Stacy, go on. Did you have anything else to share about this?
Not on this, but I can go back to that webpage. There was one other thing I wanted to just make the public aware of. If you'll bear with me as I back up here. We do post and maintain what we call a working calendar. This is a living document that we use internally to schedule all of our agenda topics that are coming forward. And so we do provide that to the public. So if there's a particular matter that you're interested in or you think might be coming to council soon, this document will kind of show you where it is currently slated in the schedule. Just a quick caveat, this calendar literally changes every day. And so please keep in mind that what you see here may change slightly as things change internally and with the information that we're gathering. So, but it's a great resource if you're looking to see what's coming up and what might be coming forward and things that you might be interested in to look for on those agendas.
That's great. Thank you, Stacy. So to recap for the public, the three major takeaways I want to leave you all with are public comment, whether that be written or orally submitted. That's a great way to engage. The agendas, we covered the agendas and how to dive into the agendas and navigate them and better understand what it is that is on the discussion for council. And then lastly, the working calendar, where you zoom out and look at the upcoming agendas for the weeks and months to come. So that hopefully, if you were able to follow along with all that, will give you a comprehensive understanding of how the city works and how city business is taken care of. Lastly, I want to just make a comment that you can email us, the city council, the mayor, vice mayor, and council members with one email address, and that's council@flagstaffaz.gov. That's in the description for this live stream, but it's council@flagstaffaz.gov. And that gets to all of your council members, mayor and vice mayor included, and also leadership at the city. And so that's a really effective way to communicate concerns, issues, comments, whatever it might be. That's a great way just to get a comment to us and get feedback from leadership, from council members directly via email. So hopefully this has been helpful. Stacy, any closing comments that you'd like to share?
Nothing specific, but thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to kind of talk about our new system. We're very excited about it and trying to, increase access and the ease of participating. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And with this new hybrid approach, I think this is more accessible to members of the public. I like to think that folks will benefit from this new approach, giving them options as to how to engage. And we look forward to you engaging with us every Tuesday starting at 3 p.m. That's when council meetings begin. So join us Tuesdays at 3, live or in person. Submit public comments throughout the meeting and engage with your local governments. We appreciate you. And Stacy, thank you for taking the time to talk about this with the public. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.